In Flutter, we need a container to put our Flame game in. So in this video, we are going to create a new Flutter project and prepare a container for our game. First, let's create a new Flutter project. To do that, I opened my projects directory, which is Android Studio Projects. Then I type cmd to the address bar and then press enter to start command line in the current directory. We need to give our project a name. I'm going to call it Yuno's Adventures. Then I type Flutter create Yuno's Adventures. After Flutter create our project, let's enter the project directory. cd Yuno's Adventures. Now let's add Flame Game Engine dependency to our project. Flutter pop add flame. This command will add the latest Flame dependency to pubspec YAML file. Now let's start Android Studio and check pubspec YAML file. Studio 64 pubspec YAML. Please note that you need to add Android Studio to the path to be able to use this command. Otherwise, you can simply start Android Studio manually and then open the pubspec YAML file in the project directory. Let's scroll down to dependency section. As you see, Flame dependency has already been successfully added to the project. Let's navigate to main Dart file, which is already opened by Android Studio. Main Dart file is the start point of our application. Now, I am going to clean this file up a little bit. I am going to delete comments. I will change title to Yuno's Adventures. More comments to delete. I will also remove this increment counter function, which we don't need. And lastly, I will remove all the stuff inside scaffold, because scaffold is like HTML body. Everything users see inside an application is here. So, I want an empty body to place our game in. Let's add scaffold's body back. Now the page looks like how I want it to be. I am also going to change the name of the homepage class to game container, because it will contain our game. Now let's create our game and add it to the container. I am going to create another file for the game class so that everything will be separate and cleaner. To do that, let's first switch to the project view and find the lib folder, which stands for library, and create a new Dart file by right-clicking on it. I will call the file name Yuno's Adventures. Class name will be Yuno's Adventures with capital letters. And this class will extend Flame Game. I am going to add an empty constructor for now. Let's go back and add our game to the container. First, we need to add a game widget inside scaffold before we add our game. Because remember, in Flutter, everything is a widget. Then let's add the game we have just created. Now, as a last step, let's go up and make sure our game uses full screen layout by adding some code before our app starts running. What you need to know about these two lines of code, it makes sure that our app switches to full screen mode before it starts running. Now let's run our app and make sure we set up everything correctly. If you see a black screen with Flutter's debug symbol and no error messages, well done.